Hey there, fellow space explorers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Starsector, Scrappy Privateer. Episode 6, Habitable Survey.
So, we have a new captain. Cerise the Mage. And you are captaining the Fangface. Alright, doing something risky. Doing an active pulse. Letting them all know where I am. They're pretty much already following me. And what I'm hoping to do is to find that Cyclone Reaper launcher blueprint and then to, like, get the hell out of here. Or to survey some of these worlds that have ruins, because ruined worlds can have amazing things on them. So I think I ditched my tail long enough that I can survey here. Yeah, I can. So, a pirate blueprint package. To be able to make pirate ships. Sure. Tons of heavy armaments, which are worth a ton. So definitely taking the heavy armaments over the other goods that I had, because they're worth so much more. Cool. I am over cargo capacity by 2. Not a bad ruin. I'm going to try to get over to this gas giant again. But I think that was closer to the Nexus, the Remnant Nexus, so it's going to be harder to do anything over here. Oh, yeah, they're already on top of me. Alright, I think... Oh, I'm going to need an E-burn. I think what the right course of action is just go for the gates now. I don't have cargo capacity for anything. I would like to find the Reaper launcher, but, like, I'm not... It's not something I'm going to manufacture, so I don't really need it. But I'm really curious as to where the hell it is. Because I've not spotted it yet. Oh, is this it? No, that's the stuff from the ruins I dumped. So if you ever intend to come back for your stuff, you can spend some supplies to put your loot into a stable orbit, which will keep it safe from decaying and disappearing for like a year plus or so. But it's really only useful to do if you... Oh, Jesus! It's really only useful to do if you do intend to return to the goods, which I don't, because the amount of fuel and supplies it would cost to return here is greater than the bounty. The best reward for buying the blueprint was the rep. I agree. It's why I paid up for it. Alright, so I think what I'll do is I'll do one more circuit around Moloch. I'm going to try to hit the sensor array, hacking it, so that I can see a little bit better. If I can ditch my tails. Oh, Jesus, the sensor array is right next to the Nexus. YOLO! Claim. Bring online. But I don't have the volatiles to do a burst. So now my sensor data is a little bit better. My detection range is improved, but I still don't know where that Reaper launcher is. I might be able to actually survey... Oh no, they're coming. I almost was able to survey that place, but there's just so many patrols. So there was no clue as to where this is. Somewhere found in the system? Man, a wild goose chase. Buddha Stallion, thank you for the resub. Making a live one. I appreciate it. There is actually, around the inactive gate, there's some stuff here. Oh god, there's also a remnant patrol. I am glad I have a lot of supplies to putz about this solar system. One thing that I could consider is once I'm outside of their sensor range, is to dip into one of these nebula clouds and go dark so they can't find me. Or at least to cut the sustain burn so that my sensor profile is lessened so they can't track me as easily. Because I want to double back to that gate. Because my guess is the gate has debris fields of ships and maybe my... Oh god! Why? Okay, I didn't see quest pings when I did the sensor burst. All of this would be so much easier if I had a burn speed of 20, not 15. Because then I could actually much, much more easily outmaneuver these remnant ships. So there's definitely something to come back to in the future once I have a speedy fleet. But I have a snail fleet, and my snail fleet is not letting me do scout and survey. Although there was a ping here. Oh no, you know, that's going to be the supplies from the ruins. I think. Just like floating around. Yeah, this feels like go find blinker fluid in an auto parts store. So I'm out of there. I don't have any quests left. I'm just going to leave this incomplete. It doesn't matter to me. So what do I do next? What to do next? I could pick up pirate missions. I could pick up academy missions. Or I could attempt to find a good colony spot. So the benefit of the colony spot is I could invest some of my funds to start a small colony, and the small colony will allow me to like refit my ships and store stuff and have sort of a base of operations, a pirate base of operations. I am not sure that with all of my ships I have enough fleet capacity to do it, but maybe I'm getting close. Looks like Team Colony Spot seems to be popular. Is there an active way of finding ships to scavenge? Yes, sort of. So there are missions that you can pick up for analyzing derelict ships, and derelict ships usually are in debris fields of salvage ships, so I'll show you that in a second. All right, I am all set. Trying to keep the strep throat symptoms at bay. So, yeah, some of the missions that are going to be offered here are like analyzing derelict ship missions, which are the ones that will give you intel, even if you don't accept them. Will give you intel about where to look for salvage ships. No, that's just a sensor anomaly. You know, might be the cutest dog ever. He's also like not sitting on his. Oh, there he goes. He's a weird one. I love him, but he's a weird dog. What are you looking at, dude? Hello? Just staring at nothing. Maybe instead of me petting him, he'll pet me. Oh yeah, give me more licks. So another thing to look out for is while we're traversing deep space, it's entirely possible, in fact, very probable at some point we'll happen upon a capital ship floating around derelict in deep space that are usually the remnants of the old domain wars. So you can find onslaughts and legions, which are really pretty good capital ships, just sort of floating around. You guys want me to try to find a good colony spot. So let's see if I can't do that now, or if I need more ships in order to aid me. Let's update the priority. So in order to do this, just because I have the fleet capacity, it doesn't necessarily mean I know where a good colony would go. I don't yet know where a good colony would go. Ooh. Oh, that's really far away. So here's an example. In Old Millix, there is a quest for the pirates to analyze a derelict ship, which means that there are derelict ships in Old Millix. So even if I don't accept this mission, I know that Old Millix has derelict ships in it. Same with these two. So there's derelict ships in Samael and Coupe, because the hegemony is offering me missions. So if I'm right now, what my task is to survey. Here, let me finish this poll. My task is to survey potential worlds for colonization. Heading to Samael and Coupe might be a good place to go initially, because there's also going to be derelict ships there, potentially for me to recover to add to my fleet. So that's how to find ships, is through these offerings. Or one of the easiest ways, rather. So in order to actually do a colony, there's a few different requirements. One is that the colony can't be in the core worlds. It used to be, before this patch that came out yesterday, that Penelope and that Taxet and Tia were unowned, but they're now owned. Penelope is owned by the church, the Ludic Church, and Taxet and Tia are owned by the hegemony. So there aren't any worlds within the core worlds that are consequence-free colonies. So when you're looking for colonies, there's a few different considerations to make. There are colony bonuses from cryosleepers and from coronal shunts. So there are 2 blue giants somewhere in this galaxy which have coronal taps. Oh, also this Duzak is also claimed. So all the core worlds are claimed. But back to what I was saying. There are 2 blue giants in this galaxy that will have coronal taps, and what that allows you to do is it allows you to actually build more industries on the planets that you colonize. So by default, you're sort of soft capped at like 5 governed colonies. You can go above that, but the way it works is that you have administrators, and you can hire up to 3 administrators to manage your colonies. So that's 3. And then with the right skills, you can manage 2 more. You can yourself manage 2 colonies, and if you get industrial planning, those colonies will also get the benefit of additional supply for their industries. So that's 5. If you install AI governors, you can get beyond the 5, or you can get beyond the 5 by just self-governing more than 2 at a penalty. But if you're trying to like min-max and not be wasteful, colonizing any more than 5 is sort of the soft cap, generally speaking. So what the coronal taps and shunts do is allows you to have more industry on the finite amount of worlds, but only within 10 light years of the blue giant that has the shunt. Also, destroying the defenders of the shunt is not an easy task. Same with cryosleepers. So there are ships that are full of like cryopods of frozen people, and you can just defeat the defenders and liberate and essentially populate your worlds with the cryosleepers, which just helps you to grow your worlds quickly. But as soon as your worlds are max size, it's no longer really a benefit. So I would say if you're going to settle worlds that are near a blue giant with a shunt. Cryosleepers, take it or leave it. The other considerations is the closer you are to the core worlds, the more accessible your ports are, which is going to be really good for industry and trade, and supply and demand. So that's a big one. Another big one is that there's a gate nearby to be able to jump once you have gates running, to be able to jump near or at your actual colony. There is an ability to add gates now in 0.97, so that's less of a requirement than it used to be. But it used to be that like there's a finite number of gates in the world, and if you don't want it to be annoying to get out to your planets, you would need a gate system. So in order to try to find a good colony location, I pretty much only want to survey the worlds that are closest to the core worlds. And because I know that there's salvage ships here, I'm going to go to the Vlantone Nebula first. And I'll just start to do the surveys around to try to find the most colonizable worlds, the most habitable worlds to start a colony. So if I am just traveling around surveying, I want to have like a minimum fleet again, because I don't need to be paying for like expensive upkeep and maintenance. I also should probably get rid of this heavy armaments. So let's try to black market that, or actually open market that now, because I can bring it to the pirates and sell it on open market, and they won't care. Remember me to leave my crew in a safe place? I'll take a little bit more crew. So I'm going to go out to Garnier and sell the heavy ordnance that I have for some money. I think the heavy ordnances are legal, so I really don't want any of these hegemony fast pickets to ping me, because I don't have enough shielded cargo to protect me from that. So extra 100k, and I'll also sell the survey data to them. And I'm going to buy the open market supplies and black market supplies, because if I'm doing a lot of surveying, I'm going to want a lot of supplies. And I managed to trade right before the annoying hedge picket hit me, so that's good. Dodged that bullet. I'm also very close to level 3. Question for you guys. What skill to get next? Navigation or something in industry? Which would give me heading towards the removable demods. So I need to spend 1 more point in the industry tree in order to unlock the, or 2 more points in the industry tree in order to unlock the ability to get hull restoration. Or I could get navigation, which would increase my burn level, increase the speed of my sustained burn level, and then also let me transverse jump. So it would allow me to jump in and out of systems way more easily, and avoid getting found out. Okay. I guess I don't want to take this buffalo with me. I did the wrong thing. So let me turn back and drop the buffalo off. Buffalo slows me down. It's slower than the other ships in my fleet. If I could ditch steel boot too, but I probably won't have the fuel capacity to do that. The other thing that I haven't yet checked is if I take all of my ships. I have a fleet capacity of almost 1,000. So I need a total fleet capacity of 1,000 to be able to colonize anything. So I'm missing, I just need a little bit more, a few more ships to be able to eke me over the goalpost there. All right, so what's my fleet range now? Do I need the dram? No, I don't need the dram. So the current fleet is like a minimum fleet of just like some basic mules that will keep me kind of protected and give me a little bit of cargo capacity. I probably only need to get a passenger ship. Yeah, but I can't buy them. I have to find them. as part of the rules of the series. However, I am headed to a derelict ship field, so very possible that I actually do find them as a result. All right, and it looks like you guys want me to invest in navigation, but I can put that up for a few more minutes. Oh, it's so much nicer. See how fast I'm moving now without all the sluggish ships in my fleet? Moving at 18. Whew. Thank goodness. All right, so there's minor warnings here. So this is a semi-dangerous system, but it's probably not going to be like choke full of nonsense like the other ones were. Meaning that it's likely like dormant remnants. Volcanic, barren, gas, unstable, barren. Okay, I'm gonna break this for salvage. You know what? Never mind. I actually don't even really have room for the salvage at the moment. So this is a world with ruins, and I just leveled up. High-tech package to be able to make furies, strikes, wolves, and some weapons. Sweet. Luddic path package that I can sell to the pirates. And my inventory's full. Okay, so you guys want navigation? I'm all for it. Let's invest. So this gives me the ability to transverse jump, which allows me to jump in and out of systems wherever I want, more or less. So if I'm outside of the system, I have to go to specific points on the galaxy map, but within a solar system, I can jump out wherever I want, which allows me to evade nonsense much, much more easily. So I know from the hegemony offered quests that there is derelict ships here. But given that none of these planets are like particularly habitable, they're not desert or tundra or jungle or Terran. Ooh, what the? Oh, there's a bounty for this fleet, which I'm not gonna do. It's a pirate fleet that someone put a bounty out for. Ooh, nice. We have a lot of magnetic fields. And more ruins. So these are junk freighters. I don't really... This one is a civilian transport that can have 75 crew. I mean, I needed it, right? So, like, I guess... It gets me over the goalpost. It's not a sexy ship to have. A midline blueprint for Sunders, Hammerheads. Yeah, pretty decent. And a Gladius fighter wing. I don't have room for these supplies, really, at all. So I'm going to leave them floating. But now, if I do find a colonizable world... Ooh, we have a officer. If I do find a colonizable world, I can colonize it now that I have total crew over 1,000. And there's a lot of topographical scans to be had here, which should push me over 100. Yep, there it is. I'm over 100 now. Oh! So we've got a Lasher and a Valkyrie. This really would put me over the pop goalpost, so I will consider the Valkyrie, because I don't think I'm going to be offered unstory point salvage for such high capacity ships like that. So that was a nice find. So we could definitely start colonizing as soon as I find a good word for it. Oh, here's another ruin world. Low-tech blueprint for Dominator, Mora. I like Moras a lot. Lashers are pretty good too. Transplutonics are worth more than the metals. And they're worth more than the domestic goods. They're not worth as much as the heavy machinery, though. Plus, I'll need heavy machinery just to do the colony. So, it's possible. It's hard to tell without accepting the hegemony quest, but it's possible that the salvageable ships that were out here to be found have been now found. An orbital habitat with missile blueprint packages. Nice. Also organs, which are worth a lot. Domestic goods are worth more, or luxury goods rather, are worth more than the transplutonics. Oh, wow, I am really low on space. It's weird to be considering throwing organs out the ship, but it's either organs, supplies, or heavy machinery, and I'll pick organs. They're harder to move anyway, black market-wise. And I'm actually maxed on fuel. I have no more space for fuel. I could scrap that other ship, the Mudskipper, yeah. I have the crew to pilot it, and this Mudskipper technically adds a little bit of cargo capacity. So, like, I'm going to keep it around for now. But what I can do is I can raffle off that Valkyrie. So, raffle timer's up for the Valkyrie troop transport that I found. And I'm not certain that I've actually found all that's worth finding here. I still feel like there's other secrets. What are you? Oh. Oh, snap! Yeah. Yeah. We're okay. Yep. So, I used a story point to recover a Paragon, which is a high-tech disco ball laser ship. Very, it's not as good as it used to be. In the last two patches, there's been some nerfs to it, but it is still super, super sexy. I'm gonna have to mothball it though, because I don't have the crew capacity to keep it running. So I'm just gonna have to be very careful as I limp back towards home turf. Oh, yeah, and having mothballed it, I don't benefit from its cargo capacity or anything like that. Well, you know what? That gate is covered by a solar flare, so I'm gonna have to go out to the other gate, because I don't want to be flying near a solar flare and potentially move. Isn't it my favorite ship? It used to be. It's definitely lost prominence. I would say my favorite capital ship nowadays is maybe Pegasus or Onslaught. Probably the Pegasus. So the Pegasus is a missile ship, and it packs like a hell of a punch. Missiles have been getting buffs since the last time I played, and like missiles are pretty, so how do I explain? They do a lot of very, very fast DPS. Burst DPS. Obviously, there's a finite amount of missiles and you can run out, but missiles are very meta nowadays. So this raffle timer is also for the Paragon. I figured it's worth mentioning. So it's for first the Paragon, and then the Valkyrie. I'm not going to bother with the Mudskipper, because I don't care about the Mudskipper. I'm going to be getting rid of it. Oh, did that just pop up, that slipstream? I think so. So I have to make sure not to hit any storms on the way back, because any damage to that Paragon and it goes poof. I did quick save, so if I have to if I have to save scum, I'm able to. I'm not trying to Iron Man this. This game is very hard to Iron Man without incredible amounts of frustration or luck. So I'm holding S to go slowly through this storm. The other issue with the Paragon, I mean, I love that I have it, but I don't think I have good weapons for it. I do have one plasma cannon, but like I don't really have grav beams and other things that like really make it amazing. I have a very limited amount of weapons to even put on the thing. So it's a big ship that will scare other ships from attacking me, but it isn't an effective combat fighter until it actually has weapons, and that means I need to go find said weapons to put on it. So I'm it's 1 more minute for the raffle timer, but I'll probably, let's see actually how I retrofit it now. Oh, I have a tack lance? Oh, I didn't know that. Well, that's pretty legit. Yeah, and an auto pulse laser. Actually, you know what? This is like really not too terribly, I mean, it's missing a lot of point defense, but it's not too terribly equipped. Truth be told. The auto pulse lasers are really good weapons. The plasma cannons are really good weapons, and the tack lances are very good weapons. So like, not bad. I'm gonna store it because it's very costly to run with. I'm just gonna go ahead and maybe I'll actually try to black market sell this ship here. So let's take the Paragon just to be able to name it now. So Paragon, what is your name? You're the Dragon marked 1. Okay. And then the Valkyrie, you're the Radlocker. And I'll auto-fit this. Yeah. So the Valkyrie's real benefit there is it makes your ground raids more efficient. So I'll explain that a little bit. When you attack a planet or a station that is not guarded, you can have your Marines, which are like combat crew, run missions for you to either disrupt the infrastructure of whatever you're attacking or steal things or yeah. And the Valkyrie's real benefit is that it makes your Marines more effective so that you have fewer Marine losses in combat situations. So it's a really nice ship to have found. I'm really lucky to have found both a Valkyrie elite troop transport and a tug. The fact that I found both are kind of just like mind-boggling to me. Plus, of course, the Paragon. So now the Paragon has a name and the Radlocker has a name, and I'm going to stash them away because I can't afford to run them. I'm actually going to sell this ship to that never got raffled or named. So I'm going to sell these 2 ships in the black market to the pirates and then continue the surveying. Let's go ahead and store a ton of these heavy machinery. I don't want to sell heavy machinery because I'm not allowed to buy it. So it's really important for me to build up a stockpile of it for when I need it to be able to colonize and build up infrastructure. But this stuff I can sell. That I can sell. Yeah. I could also sell my gamma cores to the pirates. Maybe I'll just do that. Because I'm not going to be using gamma cores in this series. Alright, so let's get out to Garnier and sell some ships and stuff. And then go back on the survey. But good finds. So if I recall, I just went to Samail. I didn't even bother going to Coupe, which was the other area nearby that had derelict ships. I mean, once I found the Paragon, it would be insane to risk the Paragon to keep going. So I'm open marketing this stuff on purpose because I like to be a good pirate and pay taxes. I know, it's crazy, but that's what I'm about. Let's see if there's missions here too. So he could tell me the blueprints of some stuff. I don't really care. And you want me to attack a spaceport, which an independent spaceport, and I don't want to piss off the independents, so no. All right, so there's nothing of import here for me. So let's get gone. So I can just transverse jump out, so I don't have to go to the nearest warp point, which is freaking amazing. And I'm gonna go down to Coupe to continue surveying for habitable worlds. Yeah, finding a Paragon is ridiculous. I thought that at best in this marathon, I might find, if I was lucky, a 14 Legion or 14 Onslaught. Probably a 14 Legion. They seem to be the most common. Finding a Paragon is just like ridiculous. There's also that Mora. I mean, the attractiveness of that Mora carrier that I know about that's east of Weaver is like less now than before, because I have a pretty decent fleet and don't need to eke out more ships necessarily. And no, I didn't sell the ships. And you know what? I'm just blowing them up. They would sell for almost nothing. So there's not a point to hold on to them. They would probably sell for like 5,000, 10,000 credits. Out of the almost million that I have, it's a drop in the bucket. Oh, Jesus. Oh, it was a very small remnant fleet. So there should be a debris field somewhere around here. A little mud skipper. Of ships, because the hegemony was offering a contract to analyze data. Maybe this way? A buffalo with a marine in it. So we have one marine. Okay. Oh, a Prometheus tanker. So Prometheuses are super tankers. They are really very fuel efficient super tankers, meaning that one Prometheus, usually, if not compromised, this one is compromised, but that can be fixed, can support a pretty big fleet on their own with their fuel capacity. Should I use a story point for the prom? So I have 3 story points, and I could burn one of the story points to get the Prometheus here. I don't think I'm going to get offered a lot of opportunities to get a Prometheus that doesn't require a story point. And the benefit of this Prometheus is, if I'm running around with a whole bunch of combat ships, they're going to need support ships, fuel ships specifically, in order to maintain enough fuel for long distance travel. So I do have I already have some drams and some what are the other phaetons, but a Prometheus would almost make the drams and phaetons obsolete, provided I can overtune it with augmented drives so that they're not slow, or to get my topographical map information high enough to get the +3 burn speed out in space. So it looks like you guys think that, yeah, recover it. It's now part of the fleet. So my fuel capacity is ridiculous. And let's raffle this one too. That might have been the only derelicts here. Yeah, I don't think there's other derelicts. So I'm going to be really slow tugging this Prometheus around, but at the very least, I can survey the rest of the ships. And here you can see the fuel capacity. I can basically go anywhere I want now. I can at least, maybe not there. Survey the rest of the ships in this sector, or rest of the planets in this sector. So these are the jump points, the nascent gravity wells that you can jump into. Oh god. Oh no, that's probably a fake. Yeah, that was a fake reading.
Thank you for tuning in to Starsector Scrappy Privateer, which originally streamed live on Twitch February 3rd and February 4th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind that this is a series from a marathon stream, meaning that changes cannot be made to the series. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, a link can be found in the description of this video or also at Rhadamant.com. Additionally, in the description of this video is a link to the details about this series, if you're wondering about the scenario series rules or goals. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. Hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow privateers.